Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're doing really well. Welcome to AI Weekly. And this week we've got a bunch of things to talk about, which we always do. But looking at what's going on in AI primarily, also going to cover some software concerns people have. But initially, what I want to do is talk about the, what's happened in the last week in AI. It's kind of funny. It's almost like you could do this every day and have a fresh new topic to be sharing. You all know President Trump's over in Saudi Arabia, and they're beating their chests and touting about the amount of money being invested in the United States. Uh, Trump was very wise to take his pro business approach around the world right now because, in his mind, prosperity kind of overcomes a lot of challenges for other companies, right? So, AI is bringing literally trillions of dollars in investment into businesses in the United States. And what's cool about that is it's also going to be in other parts of the world too, right? Because people are all investing in AI, especially the Chinese. And there are some that think that Chinese may be ahead of us. I hope not. I really do. I I think that our government would be less likely to create a problem with it. But regardless of who has AI, the genie is out of the bottle at this point. There's not a whole lot we can do other than to be as constructive as possible. And Trump has got I believe, another $1 trillion in investments coming into the United States. I forgot how many trillions of dollars he's stimulated in investment in the United States. But a big pile of that is for AI infrastructure. And I kind of chuckle at that because they're putting in these gigantic data farms that are huge, million square foot warehouse, air conditioned, cooled, thousands of chips so that they can train these AIs to get better and better at what they're doing. And I guess that's a really good thing, right? Because we are enjoying being part of that time in our evolution as a country. We're in the AI evolution period, just the same as we had the pre-industrial, the industrial, the iron, the bronze, the copper, and then whatever evolution. We got into uh, mechanical evolution, and we had things like nuclear bombs come along, the nuclear elevation, then the computers came along, and computers have evolved. At this point, what we're seeing is that there is a very large and a very real amount of money coming in to uh, support AI infrastructure. And a lot of people are going to go, well, doesn't it do everything it needs to do already? No, it doesn't. Some of these companies, let me look at my iPad here. A company called DeepMinds, they're creating an AI just to improve the improving chip designs. Okay, so that now they can make better chips to build a more powerful AI. So you can see where that's starting to go to starting to create its own essence in the fact that, yeah, we're going to create these chips with AI, and we're already using AI tools to manage coding of software. And it's going to be not too long to where you won't need a programmer. You just literally go chat to your AI. And within 5 years, it's going to be so sophisticated that you could build really any application you want just by working with a version of an AI. There's going to be a plethora of AI models and engines out there. Uh, I I look at them all the time, uh, and they're just coming on. I can't even remember all the names of them. I'm having a hard enough time just remembering my name. But you'll have Lambda, you have Grok, you have ChatGPT, which is OpenAI. Then you've got Claude. I can't remember them all, and I don't need to remember them all because I find what works for me, which is OpenAI, and that's what we're doing all of our development around. Two technologies that are merging simultaneously. Well, actually, three. The other thing that's happening at the same time as AI is doing this is cloud hosting, cloud programming. Um, Having a cloud host like I have with Microsoft AI is great. It's the host, but really, what AI, the cloud hosting is, or AWS or Rackspace, any of these cloud servers, is is data, the ability to house massive amounts of data, not on one server, but on the cloud. So lots of people can pick data out of that cloud to do what they want to do with it. And that's what's so important to AI is in order for AI to be distributive and for us to use it, it needs to be on our phones, on our iPads. So suddenly we created a device, people, that is going to be all knowledgeable of everything. You're not going to be able to hide anything in your life from the AI. And they got these huge data farms to put together. That's for computation and training of the models. The thing that I'm curious about is, does the model ever get to the point where it doesn't need those huge facilities to do that because it can train itself strictly in the cloud, or maybe those buildings are to extend the cloud. So AI Social Poster, which is my cloud program, is truly a cloud-based application. Now, programming in the cloud is similar but different than programming a WordPress plugin. A WordPress plugin is simple. You just write it in PHP, and you can go to ChatGPT, and with enough description and testing, you can come up with a pretty good WordPress plugin. Something that I could create in 10 years ago in 2010, I could sell it and make $1 million on it. Because the programs are designed nowadays are quite a bit more complicated. And the cloud programming that we're doing allows us to be able to be in the AI world. You have what are called, you're a quarterback. That's what Microsoft is. We take the information from this place, make sense out of it, in other words, convert it into something that's useful for a business, and then put it over here. So it's this quarterback plan, and that's what the cloud does. It's truly the quarterback of the whole AI evolution. Just handing information back and forth. And this is all done with what's called an API code. Now, when you buy Massive Passive AI, or really any blogging program that uses AI, you can either buy the access to the API code from your supplier, which we offer, an AI content poster, but we mark up what we buy from OpenAI. So you'll notice in my program, I say, okay, you can use OpenAI. So that's what I would use. I wouldn't use AI content posters API. I would use the API for AI Open. That will give you the most amount of flexibility, the highest quality, and also the best cost per unit. Now, when we originally started AI Content Poster, we saw it as a kind of a manual automated blogging system where people can go in and create their own blog posts manually. And then I said, well, that's stupid. Why don't we just make it automated and tack on a scheduler and make it work? The same thing with AI Social Poster. First it was like, okay, let's just post tweets with it. Well, it can write and post a tweet. Why don't we just create a scheduler? Well, then why don't we just add on all these other networks? It just gets, you start digging that a little further down the hole, you go. And the more value you add, the more valuable it is for your clients for whatever period of time. the big thing for developers such as myself is with our software is we have to continue to go, what if? How do I make this better? Can I create a better rabbit or a better car or whatever you want to call it? I don't know. Can I make this something more valuable to our clients? That's a constant question I ask my programming team. I don't even want to call them a programming team anymore. I ask my developers. That's what they really are. Because we've gone down from just a few people because I don't need all these people I used to have. Because quite frankly, the coding work, we don't need a human being to do it no more. We create the infrastructure and the design, and we just use the AI tools that are available to create the code. And what it does, it creates very lean, very tight code that's very well debugged so that when we deploy it, there's still going to be problems because the problems will be design related. What I'm doing wrong, what my team's doing wrong, we got to figure those things out and correct it and then integrate it into the whole system. And one thing about on the cloud, you have this like nebulous pile of software going in and out and doing this and everything else. If you make a change here, something down here breaks. So you're always busy kind of putting your finger in the hole until you get them all kind of glued together. And we're still trying to on AI Social Poster. We're still trying to plug a few things in. We're going to launch it here probably in the next couple of weeks. We're going to have it available on ClickBank, and it's going to be available on AppSumo shortly thereafter. So we're going to have it available. It's available now if you want to buy it. There's a link. Go buy it. It's changing. I have to update all the training videos because my programmer came to me and he said, well, we're going to run into this problem, this problem, this problem. And it's not just dealing with one destination. In other words, we're not just posting this to Facebook or Instagram or X. We're posting to 8 different sites. So we have to deal with 8 different API codes. And these guys, these sites, how dare they? That's their software, their system. A lot of developers have access to their API codes, but they don't guarantee they're not going to make changes to the way the API code works. So we've got to be able to keep on top of changes, and they do notify. We're going to be releasing version 3.5. It's include new. It's really complicated stuff. So what does that mean to existing functionality? That's the first question. Will it continue to work? And then the second question is, what more can we do with all the extended functionality? Because when AI updates, there's new tools, new abilities, and my CTO, Jayton, is constantly in training on AI programming tools and techniques and how to use it. You know, these 50% education, 50% development. That's what it takes to run a software company nowadays. Unless you're really big, and we are not. And it's kind of off my radar to ever make it big. It's just, I want to make it enough to where I can sell it and add it into my retirement. Here it is, 1 o'clock in the afternoon in Texas, and I'm drinking coffee. Okay, I want to talk to you about something right now related to the massive passive AI. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen here. Let me make sure I have this right. I'm going to log into one of my blogs, and then I'll set the screen up so you can see the inside of the blog. Okay, let's make sure it works. And there are literally millions of bits and pieces doing this and doing that, connecting here and doing this and confirming that, administrate. So it's very complicated. Okay, cool. Now let me take this thing here and tell it to go over that screen. Yay. Okay, here we go. This one, I'm going to turn off this e-business traffic token because you don't need to see that. And I want to go up into the McRae AI website. And the reason why I'm showing you that is because this is my main business website. And I'm going to go to Massive Passive settings. Because in here, I talk, well, that's not, I want to go down to license. I'm sorry. And in the licensing, you see here, you can use AI content posted by the AI. Okay, I don't recommend that. Even though I get to make money on it, it's just not fair to you. You want to go to OpenAI and you want to get your own license. Okay, I'm going to scroll that up here so you can't see the license. Paste that license in there, and then you're ready to go. So some of the questions are, which version of the AI engine should I use? We're optimized up to GPT-4. Here's the difference. That's the big. GPT-4 gives you better quality content. It's more deliberated, more thought out. It's better quality. To your eyes, it just depends on how much you know about the topic that you're reading. If it was a technical website where you're sharing like programming information, GPT-4 is going to be more accurate than GPT-3 or below. The reason why we have the others available is because they are less expensive. So now you're thinking, oh, I don't want to spend money. Maybe I'll use GPT 3.5. Let me assure you, I get 1 million words for $40 a month. Okay, so 1 million words, when your average blog post is about 600 to 700 words. Let's pull up a calculator here. Let's say it's 600, let's say it's 700 words. 1 million divided by it. I did that backwards, sorry. 1 divided by 700 words. That would generate 14,000 blog posts. Or no, 1,400. 1,400 blog. There are, let's say you have a blog, and I'm going through like, I don't know, $120 a month. Now, images cost you money, okay? And so what this does is every time it creates an image or it creates text, it charges you against your ongoing account. And they give you a certain amount for free every month, so you may never have to pay. But ultimately, you'll get that notice where you have to pay something, and you might have to put $20, $40 in every month to keep the site. Well, if we have 15 blogs divided by 20 posts, okay, that could create, for 15 blogs, $40 will be able, you can run 5 full-scale blogs of 20 posts per month. So that's 5 blog posts. It's a lot of blog posts. Now, I have a lot more than 5. And I do it because of the massive passive income I make from it. And I get, as my domains age, and I have old domains I've had for years, I can get them approved for the AdSense ads that you see here, and those ads are generating thousands of dollars. Right, here's one right here, a couple over here. That stuff is making me thousands of dollars per month. Hands-free passive, because I'm spending, $100 a month on OpenAI. So the cost is literally nothing for what you can get back in return. And It's definitely worth it. So anytime you click a link, it pops up. So that's why we want you to be using Metricool to take your blog post and post it on X and post it on everything. All your social media that you can post on will allow you to take a post because you get a click over here and it creates engagement. Now, maybe you're not going to be able to get AdSense right away. You eventually will. In the meantime, I'm getting clicks from here. See this little bar? I gave this to everybody. It's in your members area. It just creates a link in the middle. Plus, I have all these links in here and the banners at the bottom, which are added in through the AI massive passive AI system. Right? When you come up here and look, you'll see. Take a keyword. I'll just look at this one. This drives people out to the AI email swipe, and the banner drives people out to massive passive AI. So I get sales for MPP AI from my websites every day. I get AdSense income from my websites every day. Are they massive? No, but I don't have to touch anything. I just let it run. And it generates lots of clicks. And if I'm making $1,500 a month in ClickBank commissions from a website, added to $3,000 a month in AdSense income, added to what I'm doing in email marketing, added to my product sales, it leads to a very nice monthly income. Now, the product sales, like doing the stuff I'm doing right now, training and showing people stuff, that's not passive. I have to take an active interest in doing it. So you have to be intentional, make a plan, and get people to come along and consume your content, which is what you're doing right now. You're consuming content. So I'm teaching you stuff, hoping that you're a client. Most of you are. So thank you very much. So when it comes down to the AI massive passive, you may have a question. Which license should you use? The answer is AI Open. Which engine should I use? You should use ChatGPT 4. There's no reason to use less than that because you get so much content for what you're paying. You're going to be making money off the sites well before you make money off of. But then you're going to be paying money out. So you see this right here. It's another thing. It's really kind of important. Okay. I created this on March 4th, 2024. This is my birthday a year ago. I'm a 60-plus-year-old gentleman who radiates warmth and wisdom. It's friendly, approachable, easy. This is a description that tells the AI how to personalize your content, to give it a little bit more sense of who you are. It's called a persona. Now, a lot of these AI things don't do that. So if you want to put down your sniveling little whiny kid that's waiting for mommy to give you a popsicle, it's the tone of your posts are going to be quite a bit different than mine. And that's to make it more unique for you. A lot of people are going, well, the search engines don't index AI. There's so much AI content out there. Believe me, they index it. What really matters to them is that it's important content, that it actually helps their readers gain their objective. They want to make sure that what they're sending traffic to is good for them. Okay, so I don't rely on search engine. I rely on social media to start the engagement process. I cookie that social media with every click so I can remarket them with ads, but I also am able to put cookies on their machines for various affiliate products I want. That's actually called cookie stuffing, and it is very well frowned upon. I have software that does it. I'm not going to give it to you because you can lose your affiliate network very easily. Now, I do lots of traffic, so I can get away with a few thousand extra clicks per day because they go, well, he's making money, so it must be real traffic. The idea is for something like Amazon is they have like a 1-day cookie. It's not, where in the case of something like ClickBank, they click on your link and they buy a year from now. It's the last cookie on the computer that gets commission on the sale. So if they haven't clicked on anyone else's link, but they buy something a year from now and they happen to have been on my website, I'm going to get commission on it. And it happens all the time. I had a friend of mine do that with Amazon, and we got his website really cranking, and he was bringing in $500 a month with Amazon. He built like 100 websites, and then Amazon banned him because Amazon is they're very smart. Okay. You can do this with like certain types of affiliate networks, but not your retail sites like Amazon affiliate program. They know, they have the metrics down to it. It takes 1,000 clicks from an affiliate to generate an order. Suddenly you're generating 10,000 clicks per order. Your quality of traffic is wrong, and eventually they'll start to look for where the URL is, and their bots will come to the conclusion that you're cookie stuffing because you are. But you can do it and get away with it almost everywhere else. I wouldn't do it with Commission Junction. I wouldn't necessarily do it with some of the other affiliate networks like Cash Network or Share a Sale. I don't know how they would respond, but if you can get a site generating a lot of traffic and you can throw cookies on it. Now, the thing that was nice about Amazon is somebody comes to your website during the day, and at night they decide they want to buy some resveratrol on Amazon. You're going to get credit for that sale, even though you didn't promote that. Most of these sites, okay, so if they come to your site and they see an offer for making money by typing content for people, and then they have to buy that very specific product. So it worked great with Amazon because it wasn't product specific. And I think they probably have resolved that since now. I haven't done it for Liver. I ended up losing my Amazon affiliate account as well, which kind of bummed me out because at one point I was bringing in about $15,000 a month. This goes back to 2012? No, 11. 10, 11. I was doing really well with the cookie stuffing for Amazon and for I was an affiliate for Musicians Friends. It's kind of an interesting story. 2002, I started a guitar business. Actually, it was 1997 and 2002. It became my primary business. And I ran that until 2005, at which time I sold the business. I sold it to my competitor, who's Musician's Friend, because my strategy was I'm never going to make a lot of money with this business. But if I'm a big enough pain in the butt to the big guy with my advertising, they might want to come buy me just to get rid of me. Well, that actually worked out well. And they bought it in 2005. And I went on and I got to keep one of the domains. I had like 3 of them. I kept 24hourguitar.com. And I went out to Commission Junction. I found that I could be an affiliate for the company I sold the business to, which is called Musician's Friend, which is part of the Guitar Center company. And so I signed up for that, and I was making 7 to 10% commissions on everything that website sold. Then I discovered if I posted blog posts with the individual products, that the product created a long keyword title tag. And so when someone was searching that particular thing, it was more likely to come up in the search results. And all this stuff, and I actually said, well, I know this. Let's create an information product and teach other people how to do it. So back then, back in 2009, I came out with what was called Triangle Marketing Videos, which taught people how to be an affiliate by posting uh, content from any website, whether it be Amazon or Commission Junction, an actual product description in a blog post with an affiliate link. Well, Google, being smarter than me, which they are, eventually realized, well, all they're doing is indexing a bunch of content that was um, duplicate. And then they decided they didn't like affiliate links. And I'd moved on to bigger and better things at that point, so I didn't continue to pursue it. But I was making 15 grand a month as an affiliate for Musician Friends for about 2 years. I think started in 2005, ended in 2008 when I opened up my software business. And then we came out with this product called Massive Passive Profits. No. The first one was called Marketing. No, Triangle Videos was first. Then I had what was it? Press Release Magic, Marketing on the Fringe, and then I came out with Massive Passive Profits in the fall of 2010, and we made like $3 million on that. And then I came out with the several other information products on ClickBank and on Cash Networks, and I just settled into doing solo ads because doing that launch stuff is crazy. It is crazy. And I did the CPA business with the above the matrix product, what we call it, Alan's success secret, and Massive Income Machines, which was Massive Passive Profits. So we did that, and then eventually it got to the point where all the affiliate networks, all the merchant accounts were canceling accounts because they considered us high risk. Quite frankly, we had a high refund rate, a lot of chargebacks. So I kind of abandoned all that, went into the solo ad industry, and we developed e-business traffic, and now we're selling $1 million a year in solo ad traffic to people who resell it. So we're the master generator of traffic, which is a pretty complicated process. It still works. It's a great thing. But if you're using Massive Passive Profits to build passive income, I would recommend you go get your open license key. Don't worry about the cost. It's not going to be much. Pick GTP4. Come up with your own version of something that describes you. And I probably went into ChatGPT and said, hey, create this for me. Okay. So that's what I am. I know I did because I don't create anything that extensive. Anything I create, I pretty much use ChatGPT on. If I have an email with a respected colleague or a business associate, I will 9 times out of 10 take that, and before I send it, I will ask ChatGPT to read the email I've written and make it sound more professional or more friendly or more personal or whatever. It'll come back with a rewritten email for me that looks amazing, and that's what I'll use. And that's what I recommend you do. All my emails now is primarily done via the email swipe program that we have. And then I take a lot of that and I rewrite it myself using ChatGPT, because one of the things about ChatGPT you need to understand, as you're using it, it is learning from you who you are, what you're interested in. And if you are constantly writing content about, let's say, politics, and your persuasion is conservative or liberal, whatever it is, I don't care. You'll go back to it and ask it to help you write content based on a topic you may have, and it will tend to write that content for you based off of their experience with you. So ChatGPT isn't just learning and creating a generic output based on that predictive ability. It's actually learning about you when you use it So that when it creates content for you, it's tailored to more your sensibilities, which is kind of what we're doing with that particular part of this program. Is we're allowing you to tell ChatGPT who you are, write it this way, and you'll get more content slanted towards that perspective. My case is polite, professional, informative. That's that kind of sensibility. And if you read the content here, it's never going to burn you. It's always accurate. Um, but again, AI still comes down to where is it getting its information from? Okay. And generally, if you're using ChatGPT a lot, it's getting its information from everything all over the universe. And it's going to get more and more that way. So I keep asking myself, there you go. I keep asking myself, what's next? So quantum computing has been something I've been studying a lot. Quantum computing is instead of being 0 and 1 and part of the APSIDIC, which is the code of programming in the computer, the series of zeros and one on and off, on and off, and how that gets parsed out over 8 characters. It's kind of limiting. So what quantum computing does is it uses qubits, which is a construct of the quantum realm, if you will. And it can be in infinite, not zeros and ones, but infinite positions. And what that does is it allows for you to be able to do calculations at infinite speed. So that opens up the opportunity to write programming that is thought-provocative and ask the big questions. And that's what you're seeing now. They're taking quantum computers and they're training with AI. If you knew it was going to happen, the quantum AI is going to help us solve a lot of things. They're using it to engineer specific medications for cancer patients within 5 years. You get cancer, it'll draw your blood or take some bone marrow, and they'll be able to design a specific drug to kill your cancer without killing you. So that's what I'm hearing anyway. But they're using it now, right now, to be able to go through data and draw conclusions from that data. Now, some of that conclusions maybe. Sorry, I gotta make sure I got the button on. It's inconsequential, but some of it is being used now by taking like these satellites that we have, space, the Webb satellite they got now, the Hubble, and the new one that's out there, and being able to interpret the data because they're able to get into the actual data and start parsing it out, not just by zeros and ones, but an infinite ability to recognize patterns. That's all they're trying to do is say, is there any sort of zero ones anywhere? Is there a pattern in content that we're receiving or content that we're sharing or things that we're scanning? So let's say they scan a nebula and it shows certain signs and they scan it again a month later. It's evolved a little. So they'll be able to tell you that that nebula is expanding. Okay. Or maybe it's contracting. They're using this to find like black holes all over the universe, the galaxy right now. So the big question is, where's your black holes? Just point it to the middle of any galaxy. And like there's billions of stars, there's billions of galaxies. So things are infinitely large, larger than you can conceive. It would blow our minds to try to perceive how large it is. And small, infinitely small. And they can divide that smallness down to a certain point where the next step is nothing, right? Well, they found that nothing in that small part is something. And so that's going to be something to keep an eye out on because I haven't really understood what it is. But the point of the matter is they're able to expand out and expand down. And they're both the same exact measurement, infinitely small and infinitely large. They're both beyond our comprehension to handle. So when we look out and see the universe, we can look inwards and down in ourselves and divide it down further and see a whole nother universe. So then the idea comes along as well, uh, if infinitely large is beyond our comprehension and infinitely small is beyond our comprehension, why does it all work, right? So there's a lot of philosophy going into how this is starting to come together uh, for people, for us to be able to understand how to move in the culture. Now, it is so complex and so it's absolutely perfect. Everything about the expansion of the universe and everything about the smallness of the microverse, if you will, is absolutely perfect. Everything works perfect. It just works perfect. Um, Accidents never work perfect. So now you get in these quantum physics and even in the astrophysicists, and they start saying, well, how could something accidentally be this perfect? So the connotation is that there is creation. And what mind could design something infinitely large and perfect and infinitely small and perfect? So a lot of these quantum physicists and quantum researchers and astrophysicists stuff have really become quite religious as a result. I don't care what your religion is. I'm a Christian, but you can be whatever. It doesn't really matter. It just matters that there's nothing that we can comprehend so big or so small that will make sense in our small mind. And so therefore, we didn't build it. We can't even interpret what we have built. So what's this AI stuff going to lead to? Well, just look at Elon Musk because he's telling you. What is going to be the single biggest market cap ever in the existence of mankind by the year 2030? And it doesn't even really exist yet. That's going to be AI robots. The Tesla quantum bot is really amazing. You can go look at them on YouTube and see where they're headed and understand that if they're going to be able to build these things for about $20,000, for $500 a month, let's say, in payments, you can have a robot at your house, cleaning the house, changing the baby's diaper, cleaning the house constantly, providing health to elderly, which I'm getting there fast. So bring on those bots, Elon. Or mowing your lawns, fixing your guitar. I have a broken guitar over here. Or, working on your car. So what we're going to have by 2030 is the single largest industry, says Elon, will be robots. Not the cars, not AI, not computers, not gas, not energy. It's going to be robots. And I think he's right. So we're all going to have a Tesla, Optimus Prime, running around your house, mowing your lawns, bringing your wife tea or a glass of wine or whatever she wants. It's going to happen in the next 5 or 6 years. That's what Elon says. And I wouldn't vote against Elon. Okay. Uh, 20 years ago, uh, 2005, we were just kind of like using the shuttles, were getting worn out and old, and they were going to retire soon. And we never really advanced in space at all. We did, some shuttle launches. Since the Apollo missions, it's been like, well, we did good enough. Okay. Well, the fact of the matter is, what Elon has done for the space industry is unbelievable. SpaceX, they're now launching 100 times a year to put their satellites out there, right? Satellites for his Starlink, whatever he calls it. Well, there's thousands of those up there now because a ship doesn't get up and release one satellite. They're getting up and they're releasing lots of them. And there's motive to madness. If you have all those satellites around, you're going to know everything about everybody because we're going to talk via his satellites. We're going to share music via his satellites. The satellites are going to control everything. Are going to know everything. And we're going to know what our enemies are up to. And we'll be able to, let's say there's a bad guy in Iran who's making a nuclear bomb. And we'll be able to tell where he lives, what he does, what he eats for breakfast, and when he's going to work, just from the Starlink stuff. Because despite it being all this great technology for fun and productivity on phones and whatever, it's a source of data. Well, you need AI to amalgamate that data and make sense out of it so that you can decide, oh, he's going to go work on nuclear bombs today. I want to fly a personal sniper drone right up his ass and get rid of him. And that's where we're headed. This stuff is going to allow us to say no bombs as a society. Okay, it won't just be U.S. It's got to be a conglomerate of nations. But it can't be a political organization because the UN is horribly political. And their solution to the problem is to create one big world government. And the way they could do that is to bring everyone else's standard of living up, but to bring the United States standard of living down, which is what you saw under the Biden and Obama administration. And you can see standard of living go way up underneath Trump. And then it's up to the people whether we want to keep this or not. There is a political party in our nation which is about building the future, and there's one about making us feel horrible about our past. Do you want to be depressed or excited? That's your choice. Okay. So whenever I see one particular party get up, tell you about how horrible we are because we don't do this, we don't do that, we owe reparations, and we should be doing that. How dare you touch me and all this crap? And then the other party gets up and says, we're building a better future. You know which way you want to look. It's up to you what you want to do. But there is no future in the past. Think about that. And all this AI stuff is leading us towards the future. And when I see Donald Trump and his administration really focusing on making that an infrastructure that we're a big part of and we control of it, it gives me hope. Is there going to be an AI robot in my house next 5 years? Well, I'll be in my 70s by then. I'm probably going to want a little help. I have moderate to severe consistent pain right now. It'd be really nice not to have to do certain things because of that pain. For those that don't know, I broke my hip in a car accident 10 years ago. And I'm still struggling with that in a big way. And I just went and had a bunch of x-rays. It turns out I have a compressed disc between my L5 and my L4, and they wanted to poke needles in me and do stuff. And I'm having to decide to do that, but I'm not picking anything up heavy. I'm not going to bend over and do something weird with the box because I could go down in tears. Let's see, the weather app just popped up. What's it telling us? Severe weather alert, extreme heat. Yeah, tell me about it. So here we are in May, and we already have 100 degrees days in San Antonio. And, My kids live here now. I'm like, I hope you're enjoying, hope you're enjoying spring in San Antonio. It'll get nice again. It's just you always have that hot spell, and then we'll cool off for a little while. And summer really hits about July, or maybe this year it's gonna be early. We hardly got any rain this past year. Well, other parts of the country got tons of rain. And San Antonio is what I'm talking about. If you go to Dallas and even Austin, north of Dallas and down to Houston, it's wet, wet, wet. It's just our area that's really dry. So we don't have a lot of water in our aquifer, and we all have these big green landscapes that we're not allowed to water. So I'm re-landscaping very soon. And I'm going to use a program to help me design the landscape. We're going to go to xeriscaping, which means a lot of rocks, a lot of boulders, and it's sagebrush, stuff like that. This is Texas, after all. So we're going to do that, and I'm going to put artificial turf in the backyard. So I don't have to water any of this stuff. I don't have to worry about mowing or anything like that. So I will not need an Optimus spot to mow my lawn, which is cool. But I probably will need one to help me help keep the house clean, so it's not as much work for me and my wife. Right now, I think the thing that we would want an Optimus spot for most of all is to, well, as it is right now, maintaining the lawn. But after that, it would definitely be laundry and basic housekeeping. Our house is pretty spotless. We have a housekeeper come in every other week, and she's amazing. Our home looks amazing. But it'd be really nice to have just kind of like a bot traveling around, cleaning up when I drop a crumb somewhere. It's my mom used to call me Pigpen. Yeah, remember Pigpen from Charlie Brown's? That was one of her many very accurate and silly nicknames for me. Pigpen, like the cloud of dust around me. And my wife goes, "Boy, your mom was right. I'm not really dirty, and I stay clean, and my room is clean. I have a lot of guitars in here, though. I just love guitars. You should have yourself a passion in life that lasts your entire life." Okay, so I started playing guitar when I was 17 years old, 1979. My girlfriend, my senior year of high school, my girlfriend bought me a guitar. And I started trying to figure it out how to tune it all, do all this stuff. And the first 2 years of my college, I took music composition. As you know, I just released another album here recently, so it's fun to have something I started 46 years ago that I still absolutely am passionate about today. It's the way my dad was. Evidently, that's something that it's a family trait. So I told my daughter, "What are you going to be doing when you're 65 years old?" "I'll still be ice skating." I go, "Yeah, cool, good for you. Let me know how that goes." Your body wears out. I started skiing when I was 5 years old. I quit skiing when I was 56. I wanted to go skiing like last year, and my wife, I came in when it's cold out. It gets really cold here. And my hands are aching and my knees are aching, and I've got the hip pain from my car accident. And she goes, "You really want to go skiing?" I said, "No, I'm not." And that led to writing a song on my album called Seasons and Time. Things change. You have to accept it. Okay. AI is ever evolving, and it's starting to write its own code. It's starting to design its own chips. And adding in the quantum is going to make it infinitely smarter than you and me. It's going to make it smarter than all of us. I read the other day, someone, I guess it was Elon Musk, said that AI already knows everything man has ever known. and it's ready to recall at any point in time. It's not going to know your reasonings and deductive stuff until you use it. And that's the beauty of what ChatGPT does and I think all of them do. As you're using it, it understands you, it starts to learn from you, and it's going to start to think like you. And is that supposed to be the way it goes? Oh, I don't want that. Hey, now remember, we can now use a little radar in space to look 9 billion years into the past and devise information on that. And we're also able to take that same technology and look infinitely small to the point where the next division doesn't exist. It goes into another, what do you call it, another reality. So you got infinitely big, infinitely small. It's all part of the same continuum. And we're kind of stuck where we are. And this is going to happen whether we wanted to or not. So the best thing to do is learn about AI. Don't fear it. Embrace it. Become its master. If you're afraid you're going to lose your job because of AI, then figure out what you can do using AI to make you more valuable to your employer. And maybe you'll have to change employers. Yeah, the important thing is running away and sticking your head in the sand will not make AI go away. It is here to stay. Learn to deal with it. Will it become a mechanic? Yeah, they're going to be working on your cars. Will it paint houses? Yes. Will it build houses? Yes. Will it do welding? Yes. Is it going to do all the manual labor? Yes. We're just going to be fat guys sucking on lollipops, floating around on floating seats. Is that from a movie? I think it's from it's one of the kids' movies I watched once, where every one of these fat kids floating around, watching video games, and eating junk. I don't want, that's a dystopian future to me. I don't want that. But I would love my kids to have a beautiful climate and a beautiful planet and an easy life. And I want my grandkids to be the master of all that stuff so that they can go ahead and have a great life too. But at the end of the day, don't fear AI. Embrace it. Make it yours. Make it do what you want it to do. Everything we're doing today will be obsolete in no time at all, including this AI stuff. Quantum is going to take us beyond our thoughts. It's like we can't conceive how big it is, the universe, and that there's probably multiple universes in the string theory, all on top of each other. So this whole multiverse thing with Marvel, that's most likely true. And the smallness coming down to the point where you can't divide it any further without going into a different reality, that's probably true as well. So you're living in a world that change is happening on the logarithmic scale. It's about to go straight up. Strap in, keep tuned. We'll talk to you next week.